of you guys having that kind of experience and having that knowledge with you. So we'll be trying to incentivize and reward you guys for that. Right, we can get started, and we're recording from now. Food maybe in the future, in the physical sessions. We're planning actually really cool physical sessions with external parties and with us, including competitions in-house. So stay tuned. Start, Ahmed.
Okay, let's see. Can you see my camera? Can you hear me clearly?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
All right, thank you so much everyone for joining today's session, which is the second part of the CLI app. Now, before I start, I would like to show you how to use GitHub quickly. I have uploaded the yesterday's code on GitHub. So let's go together through the process of cloning a GitHub repository, which basically means we're downloading it from GitHub into our local machine. Let me start sharing. No. All right. Can you see my Google Chrome page?
Just the icon.
Okay, let me reshare. All right. What about now?
Yes, we can see.
The GitHub thingy, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now if I go to GitHub, I have shared with you the link previously, but if you search for Ahmed Asaleh and then Password Manager.
Quickly, what's GitHub?
All right, yeah. 1 second. Let me share the link with you. Okay. First of all, please navigate to that GitHub. In the meantime, what is GitHub? A wonderful question. GitHub is basically like a website, which is like a cloud service, but usually, 1 second, let me turn this off. All right, sorry. Yeah, GitHub again is like a cloud service, but usually we use it for uploading code. So it's like almost a professional platform for programmers to share their code together. So if you want to share code with your collaborators, like what we are doing right now here, we can just like simply use GitHub. Okay.
I want to add that in security, most of our tools are uploaded on GitHub. So like the exploits, proof of concepts, code, tools, everything is on GitHub. So being a prominent cybersecurity engineer or an engineer in general, it gives you some credibility and authority if you have a bunch of really, really well-written tools uploaded on GitHub.
All right, cool. So now I think you can see my GitHub page. I sent the link previously. Now you can read here the README. I'll give you the time later to do it at the leisure of your time. I have written specific instructions on how to do everything. But let's go through it manually here. First of all, I want you to navigate to code and then download zip. Right? I would like to note here that there are many ways to do what I've just done to clone a repository. One of the simplest and most straightforward ways is just like to simply do what I have done. A question from Afif. Shoot.
Should we clone the repository, or if we have like we've already written the code from before, we just keep it as it is?
Now you can, like, if you have followed me yesterday, it's fine. You can keep your code. However, I prefer to use my code, which is like almost identical to yours, just to make sure that we're on the same page, to avoid
Alright.
regret. Right?
Right.
So I would highly recommend like cloning the repository here. Cool. So now let me come drag it into my desktop here, and I'll open the folder. I want to share my desktop. Okay, so this is the folder that I have downloaded. I double click to unzip it, and these are the files that we have written yesterday. I'll open VS Code. Okay. And then I hit on open or just Control O or Command O on Mac. Navigate to your folder, double click on it, and then hit open. And as you can see, this is the same README file which was found on GitHub. This is the same Python code that we have written yesterday. Right? Now let's see how's the progress with you guys. I'll give you a minute to clone the repository, and I'll be available on the chat. Go ahead, Afif.
Would it be possible if you showed us how to like clone the repository using the app, the GitHub app?
The desktop app.
Yes.
I personally don't use it, so I'm not sure how to do it, to be honest.
Oh, you don't use it?
I don't even have it on my laptop. It should be similar. Navigate to the search for my repository, Ahmed Asaleh / Password Manager CLI, and then you should be.
For the GitHub app, I think you have like file or in the menu you have repository or files. So you want to say new repository or create new repository, and then it will prompt you for whether you want to get it from a like online source or from a local source. So you choose online and you give it the link. Yes.
Okay, found it. Thank you.
Welcome.
Okay, guys, everyone. So everyone managed to clone the repository? Yes, no, please let me know in the chat. I don't want silence. Okay, Muhammad done. Ammar, Ahmed. What about the others? Should I like repeat the process quickly? Finish captain, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, sure, Rashad, by all means. So I'll go back to GitHub. Where is GitHub? Stop sharing, share again, share window. All right, so there is a link that I have shared in the chat. Let me reshare it again with you for those who came late. All right, navigate to the GitHub repository. So basically, this is a GitHub repository. A repository is like a folder, just like a fancy word, a folder on GitHub. Again, GitHub is like a cloud, but instead of sharing photos and documents with others, we're sharing code here. You hit on code and then download zip. All right, or if you have VS Code, you can maybe possibly try this. I have never tried it. I don't really recommend it. Just download zip is the secured way. And then after that, you basically unzip the folder depending on your machine. Like on Mac, for example, just double click on the zipped folder and then open VS Code. As you can see here, file, open folder, or just simply Control or Command O on your keyboard. All right, clear? Yeah, go ahead, Afif.
And now when I opened the repository, it told me that there was like Git wasn't installed, like Git was a part of the repository. So they redirect me to the website, and now I'm downloading Git. Should I keep all the options default, or would you recommend changing anything?
Keep them
Git.
default. Generally, you can just keep them default.
All right, perfect. Thank you.
All right. Now, just note that Git is something else. Git is not GitHub. These are two different things, by the way. We won't be using Git today. That's why I didn't show you the process of downloading Git. But since like it prompted you to download it, that's amazing. All right. Which one is it? I think this one, if I am not mistaken. All right, so guys, do you see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay. So let's start. First, before starting, I'll just quickly revise what we have done yesterday. I'll open the terminal by hitting this button here, and then I just literally have the terminal opened. Make sure you select terminal from here. Okay, and now I will go Python. First of all, let's okay. One second. Let me just type an extra code that you guys don't really need. Okay, cool. Sorry for the break. I just was like setting up everything. All right. So we have just like opened the folder.
Sorry to interrupt. Do we need to do this or no?
No, as I mentioned, no need to do it. It's just like something
Okay,
optional,
okay,
just from my side.
okay.
If it
Thanks.
wasn't important, I would have explained it. But anyway. So guys, let's quickly try to run the code. If you're facing or if you're getting an error saying that rich, for example, which is a library, is not available, let me know in the comment and I'll guide you through installing it. So let's try to run this code. So basically, the way we run code in Python is literally Python, or in Mac Python 3, and then the name of the file, which is passwordmanager.py. And then I'll just pass --help as an argument. Oh, looks like I have the same issue actually. Let me install. So let me show you how to do it. I don't have rich here, which is a library I need to install. Basically, you go pip or pip3 on Mac, install rich, and that's it. Pip is like a manager for you. It is a package manager that will install, that makes the process of installing libraries found online very, very easy. Like literally pip install the name of the library. Cool. Yep. A question. Yeah, Asmith, go ahead.
Whenever we create a new project or repository, do we have to always reinstall Rich?
Well, like if you're creating cloning the repository for the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Like that's why even we have something here called requirements.txt, where we as coders, like the developer of this code, me for example, who upload it on GitHub, before uploading, I'll have a similar file with all of the required packages.
Oh, okay.
So you can have an idea how to download it. And there's actually a way to automate the process of downloading all packages found in this requirements.txt file. But we'll not go through it today. Like
okay.
generally, yes, you just need to read the documentations. And by the way, since you asked, everything is like mentioned in the README file that I have provided.
Okay, so it's not a one-time download thing.
Like no, it is a one-time thing if you like first install or first clone the GitHub repository.
Okay, yeah, okay.
But like second time you open this folder or work on the code, it's pre-installed.
Already installed.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
No
Also, I'd like to mention, like, if you skip the optional step that he have done, then you're gonna have rich on your system to be used by any of your projects. Okay, so if you install rich one time, it's gonna be available for you to use it anywhere. And we use rich here to make our print functions colored, so we add some colorful stuff to our outputs.
Okay. Perfect.
Right. Okay, so now after installing everything, I want to make sure everyone went through the process of installing Rich correctly. I'll be waiting for like an extra 30 seconds and putting the code for you guys here. Obviously 3 is for Mac only. Okay. All good, guys. Everyone managed to first clone the repository, second install Rich. using pip. Ahmed Adnan. Anyone facing issues, guys? Okay, cool. Let me remove these. Oops. Type. Let's go quickly over what we have covered yesterday. So yesterday, if we come here to Python 3, Password Manager to Py, -- help, just to show the help message. Let me scroll up a bit. This is what we have done yesterday. This is the usage, PM for Password Manager. We can choose any name we want. And these are the arguments that we can pass. We can either pass -h or -help, they're identical, to show this help message, as we can see from this message here. Or we can pass the version, and we can read here that shows the program's version number and exit. And we have added two main arguments: the vault name, since you can have more than one vault. For example, Ahmed's vault is different than Ubay's vault, for example. And the master password for that specific vault in order to unlock it. After that, we have one of the we can choose one of the three commands: add, get, or list. The documentation of these three commands are found here. Add will add a new account, get will get an account, and list will list all of the accounts. What if I want to understand more about the add command? I will just literally go rerun the same command previously, but instead of Python 3 password manager help, I go password manager add help. So I want to see the help of add. Okay, it is telling me the usage here. I go password manager add, and then optionally the help command if you want any help. How do I know it's option? Again, as I mentioned yesterday, through the square brackets. Square brackets means option. And here we just pass two more arguments: the account name and the account password. Since we're going to add a new account, like for example Gmail, we need to pass the name of the account, Gmail, and the password, which is like passme123 or something. All right. What else? I think that's the gist of it. That's a quick review of what we have done yesterday. Okay. As you can see here, we have the argument version, we have the argument vault name, and the master password I explained a minute ago, and etc. Today, we will be working on something more practical. So we have all of these like arguments. The parser is designed and everything is good. I am able to read the arguments I want. However, if I pass, for example, add a new account or whatever, the functionality is not yet written. The logic is like literally nothing up to now. So let me show you what is actually happening. And today we will be like going through the process of writing this logic. Let me turn off GitHub Copilot, since I'm trying to explain to you guys here. So after designing the parser, all of this long code here, we simply need to parse the arguments. So there will be like some sort of like behind the scenes, like a for loop or a similar mechanism, like something called regex, if you're interested, that will go through the arguments and see which argument did you pass them correctly in the correct format, etc. And it will read those arguments using this function, parse_args. So I will store the arguments here in this variable, and I'll print them for you guys. Let's see, for example, say Python. Edit. Okay, so Python 3 password manager, and I want to pass the arguments add Gmail, that's the account name, and my password is like pass me at 123, for example. Oops, I forgot as you can see here, the error message. I forgot the vault name and the master password. So let's pass them quickly here. The vault name is like Ahmed, and the master password is potato. Okay. 1 second. Let's do this. Let me zoom in for you guys a bit. Okay, so again, what did I do? I'm just like those two commands, Python and then Password Manager .py is running the Python script, and I'm passing the following arguments: the vault name to be Ahmed, the password, the master password, sorry, to be potato, and I'm using the add command. I'm adding the Gmail account with this password. Let's hit enter, and as you can see, it printed this. These are the arguments. This is like a namespace of the arguments that I have passed. I have literally passed the vault name to be Ahmed. So the parser actually understood that the vault name is Ahmed, the master password is potato. It stored everything in the correct place. No need for me to do it manually. The library will handle all of that stuff. The selected command is add. I can have like get, I can have list, I can have delete, I can have update, etc. The account name is Gmail and the account password is passme@123. All right. But now what are we doing with these arguments? Up to now, nothing. Let's think together. What is the next step? We want, if for example, for add, we want to make a new vault called Ahmed and give it the master password potato, and then add this account Gmail with this specific password, passme@123. All right. So first we need to check, do we have an account or a vault, sorry, with the name Ahmed? If yes, then amazing, just simply add the password to this vault. If we don't, then we will need to create a new vault. We will write the mechanism of all of that. But like, let's think, like how will the vault look like? Many ways. One of the simplest way for this workshop is to make a text file where we will like just simply put the accounts and the passwords in the text file. But that's not safe. You're right. We can use different encryption techniques. Okay, that's maybe also still not safe. I can, for example, decrypt or something or like whatever. You're right. There are more sophisticated ways that is beyond this lecture. Okay, so up to now the vision is clear, guys. We have parsed the arguments. These are the arguments, and now we want to check if the selected command is add. We're gonna create a new vault, which is basically a text file in our system, and then we want to write to this text file the new Gmail account or Facebook account. Let's go through it. We have a question. Oh, someone want to join. Sorry, it's not a question. All right. First thing first, let us authenticate the vault. Okay, I have passed the vault name Ahmed with the wrong password. I need to check if the password is correct or not. So let's make a function here. I'll start by making a function. I'll go to the top of my code. Let me collapse all of these quickly. I'm sure there's a shortcut to do all of them at once, but like I can't memorize it now. So let's make a function. What is a function? A function is basically a method or a way in programming to bundle similar functionalities or a group of commands in one place. All right. Say, for example, you're like working on reading a file, or in this case, let's try this case, the password manager. We want to authenticate the password. We need to do like a few steps. First of all, we need to read the file, the vault name. We want to check if the vault exists. If it does, then we need to do this and that. If it doesn't, we need to create a new vault and then do this and that, etc. So all of these things are actually one big thing. So we'll just simply store them together in one place called the function. So writing functions in Python is very simple. You literally, to define a function, you literally do def for define and then the function name. I'll give it authenticate vault, for example. All right. Now what am I doing here? That's the name of the function. And here between brackets, I can pass any optional arguments. So just like a function in math, where you'll pass arg input like x1, x2, etc., like or f of x, you can also here pass arguments, okay, which will be used here inside the body of the function. This part here is what we call a body of the function. which is the logic of the function, the code that will actually execute inside the function. Currently, I'm just like typing pass just to tell Python, currently I don't have a body, just pass it, do nothing. I'll write the body maybe later, okay? Let's see what kind of arguments can we pass here. But before that, is our functions clear? Please don't shy out from asking questions. All right. Good. I see thumbs up. Cool. Now we want to authenticate the vault. What kind of logic do we want to do here? What do we need to do? First, we need to check if the file exists, which is the vault. A vault is basically a file. Second, if it exists, we'll do some specific logic, which is like checking if the password is the same as the past password, if the password is correct. Else, we will create the new vault. So let's think together. What kind of arguments do I need to pass? The vault name and what? Yalla, that's a quick quiz. What other than the vault name should we pass here? The vault's what? The vault's password. Amazing, Afif. Yeah, the master password. Thank you, Muhammad. Now I see a question here. By the way, if I miss your question, guys, I'm so sorry. Just please raise your hand so I can, or even open the mic so I can actually pay attention to your question. Can we use curly brackets for the function? For Python, you can't. Python does not use any curly brackets as far as I know. It is based on indentation. So instead of brackets, if the code is like indented the same amount, which is like for 4 spaces here, then it's just like as if you're using curly brackets. So this is like something equivalent to that, and something like C++, for example, if you're used to it. All right. So the quick answer is no, you can't use curly brackets. That's the syntax of Python. Different languages have different syntax. Okay, so let's pass the 2 arguments we talked about, the vault name and the master password. Okay, now let's do the actual logic. This is the trickiest part, to check if the vault exists. If it does, amazing. If it doesn't, we need to create a new one. So first of all, if and I'll just write pseudocode here, vault exists, do this and that. How do we check if a vault exists or a file exists in Python? I'll give you 2 minutes to research it on Google. You can even use ChatGPT if you would like to search how can we check if a file exists in Python. So 2 minutes starts now, and please submit your answers in the chat. If you feel like it's a bit lengthy, open your mic. Just tell me a single command that we will need to use. Good job, Ammar. Anyone else found any other things? So indeed, not to waste more time, as Ammar said, I'll actually copy paste your code. It is os.path exists. Again, pass means that I'm just like gonna write the rest of the code later. So if os.path.exists, and I'm passing the path, which I'll be writing in a minute, then this is the path of the file. Here. Then I'll do this and that. Okay, and then I'll come here, else I'll do this and that. File does not exist. All right. Now, what is this goofy line here? os.path.exists. Remember this library that we have imported previously, yesterday, os, that I said we will use it to manipulate files, to read files, to check if files exist, etc. So one of the cool functionalities it has is checking if a file exists. Okay. Now, what is the file path? I need to figure it out. The file path will be something as follows. I will have, that's the way I'm thinking of designing my code here. One second. Let's open a new file. I want to have like a master folder, a big folder called, for example, vaults. All right. And inside that folder, I want to have one file per vault. So my first vault is going to be ahmed.vault. The second vault will be something like, I don't know, Ubay vault. Ubay is the name of my brother, by the way, etc. Now, inside each vault, which is basically like a text file, we will have all of the accounts and the passwords. Cool. Now, how do we know the master password? How do we know the vault name? From the file name. So this is basically like a text file, ahmed.vault. That's the vault name. What about the master password of the vault, or the vault's password? We can do different conventions, but as a convention here, the first line will be the master password. Okay, same thing for the second vault. So let's do it. I'll come here and make a variable. Oops. Okay, I'll come here and make a new variable called vault folder, and I'll just simply pass the path of the vaults folder. So I want to call it vault, for example, or vaults. Okay, and then I want to create it. What am I doing here? I'm getting these very weird unsafe function parameters. Oh, all right. Let me comment this. Cool. Now, this is basically another variable. I'm just storing the value of vaults here. I decided to keep it all caps just as a convention to tell other programmers that's a constant. Don't change it. Don't modify it, please. Okay. Next, I want to create that folder that we talked about with the name vaults. So I will use another function called os.makeDirs for make directories, and then the name of the folder or the directory. Okay. There's another argument that we can optionally pass, which is exists, okay, equals true. All right. Now, what will this do? It will check if the vault already exists, or if this folder exists. It will just literally do nothing, just ignore. But if I don't have this argument here, it will actually throw an error telling me that you're trying to create a new file, but a new folder, but the folder already exists. Okay. Now let's try to run this code, or before running it, I want to continue doing this so we can actually have something to run. So the file path will be as following. It will be something like the vault name or vaults slash, then the name of the vault. If you go back here, the vault's name, and then the name of the vault with the extension .vault. All right, slash vault underscore name .vault. Now, why .vault? I can use any extension. I decided to use an extension that I have just made up called vault. No one can disallow you to do so. You can call it whatever you want. All right. So how do we create this path? We have the vaults here. We have it stored in this variable. So before that, we will use another function here called os.path.join, and I'll explain it in a second. os.path.join will actually create this file for you. It will join the different parts of the path. So we'll pass it the vaults folder, we'll pass it the vault name and this extension. And no need for us to actually write the slashes, and by mistake, for example, we can have 2 slashes or a missing slash, a slash with a space. This os.path.join function will actually join all of the paths together, or all of the parts of the path together. So the first thing here, I'll just copy this. I want to join this with that, and I want to add an extension called .vault. Now, what is actually going on here? I have this folder, I'm joining it with this path. Vault name is basically a string. For example, in the example I gave you, Ahmed. And if you add the string Ahmed to the string.vault, in Python it will just simply append them together, or concatenate them together. So it will literally be Ahmed.vault. Okay, that's it. So that's what I'm actually doing. I only have Ahmed alone as a vault name, but I want to add the .vault extension to it. So I can just use the plus sign and it will add the two strings together. Okay, and that's it. Now I'll give you guys a minute or two to finish writing what I have just written and ask me questions. Yes, Afif.
Now, what this function does is that it creates a file with the vault name and password, right?
It creates, sorry?
Like, what does the function do exactly? Does it like create a file that has all the information, or what does it do exactly?
Yeah, again, up to now it's not really doing much, but up to now it is creating. We have this folder created here before the function, the vault folder. So this is already created, but inside it we are checking if this Ahmed.vault exists, and that's it. Here we're saying if path.exist, and that's the file path, then do up to now just nothing.
What's the final goal?
The final goal is to check if the file exists, if this Ahmed.vault exists, then we will read the first line, which is the password, and check if the password is actually correct. The
Okay.
password that we have passed in the
Alright,
command line. If it doesn't exist, we will just, as if like you're signing up and creating a new file automatically, a new vault automatically.
Okay.
All right?
Tamam.
Other questions? Okay. Let me know if you're done by raising your hand. Done writing. Okay, I think I'll need to wait one more minute. Please, guys, if you're stuck anywhere, let me know. I'll be more than happy. What does exist true mean? Okay. Amazing question, Rahaf. Let's actually go to the documentations online, which is a skill that you actually need to learn. Chrome tab, a window. All right. Do you see my Google Chrome tab here? Can you guys see my screen? Oh, yes. Okay. Docs. So let's click on any of the links. I just like search for os.make directories, docs for documentations. And here, exist underscore okay. A default value false is used for this parameter. So by default, if you pass nothing, it's going to be false. If the target directory already exists, an OS error is raised if this value is false, otherwise not. So again, to explain what is actually happening, we are trying to create a new folder, a new directory. If we have this argument, if we don't have this argument at all, and the file already or the folder already exists, I'll get an error. Python would be like healing. It's like, hey, you're trying to create a new folder, but the folder already exists. I don't know what to do. Should I overwrite it? Should I delete it? Should I like ignore? I don't know. I'll just throw an error and leave it for the programmer to figure it out. However, for us, if the vault already exists, it's okay with us. We don't want to throw any errors. We don't want to do anything. So exists okay equals true will literally tell Python that if the folder exists, it's okay. Do nothing. Just ignore it. Don't even overwrite it. Just ignore the command as if nothing happened. Okay.
I think Muhammad Dabbagh, he has a question.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I just raised my hand that I finished writing the code.
Okay, so
Amazing. All right, guys. Let me reshare my screen one more time. Okay, so up to now we have created the vault folder, the big folder that will have all of the vaults. As an example, I'm giving you 2 vaults here, for example, Ahmed and Ubay. And then we're trying to authenticate the vault if the password is correct. To do that, first of all, we had to check if it exists. If it exists, we need to make another check, which is the password correct? Okay, the vault exists, but is this master password correct? Does it actually correspond to the first line in the vault, which is the real password encrypted? If yes, we'll say, okay, vault unlocked. If no, we will say incorrect password. So let's do it here. We'll have another if statement, if, and then I need to make or create a new function that will actually check, read the password. But for now, I'll assume this function already exists. I'll write it later. I'll call it like something like get stored master password from the vault name. Equals. 1 second, guys. Password. I'll explain what I'm doing in a second. All right. So what is this actually doing here? I am checking if now I want to get the password, the stored password in the vault, inside this vault. If it and then I'm gonna read it. If it corresponds to the master password passed, which is this one, I have passed this value here from the command line. Then just like print a nice comment like vault and then the name unlocked. Now to make it look a bit nicer, since I am using rich here, rich will allow me actually to somehow manipulate the string. And if I type this, for example, here, just type green in square brackets here, this rich function or library will actually print this message in green, making it look a bit nicer. Okay, since it's like unlocked, I need to just like tell the user that everything is green or good. Okay, now let's try to make this function that I have talked about. Again, to make a function, we literally go def or define and then the function name. Now, how do we check or read or retrieve the stored password in a vault from the vault name? Guys, yalla, I have it as a hint here for you. Where do we have the password stored? The actual real password. According to the convention that we agreed on. A line under what? Okay, yeah. The first line in the .vault file, exactly. Okay, so our vault file will look something like pass me at 123, and then I'll have like Gmail, and then maybe the password for Gmail is like potato. Then I have Facebook, and then the password for that is like something like that. Right? So the first line will be the vault's password. Okay, there are obviously better ways of encrypting that, but like let's agree on this simple convention now. So how do we read the first line from a file? First of all, let's get the file path, since I only have the vault's name. But remember, again, the actual full file path is vaults/vaultname.vault. So I need to copy paste this and just like literally put it here. So that's the file path. Now, how to read the first line from the file path? I'll give you 3 minutes, guys, to Google it. How to read the first line from a file in Python. What does path.join do? All right. Let's give an example. If you pass something like os.path.join and like folder 1, folder 2, and folder 3. I'll actually go ahead and run this with you live here. So I'll open the terminal. I'll just type Python 3 and I have Python in front of me here in the terminal. And I'll import OS and then paste this line. os.join folder 1, folder 2, folder 3. Let's see what is the result. Do you see it here? It's like folder 1/folder 2/folder 3. It is like actually joining the 3 paths that I have just passed into like one path. All right. How else can I do it in Python? Well, I gave you a hint. We can use the plus sign here, the plus operator, to concatenate the strings together. So like I'll say folder 1 plus the / plus folder 2 plus / plus folder 3, etc. But the path.join will just like do all of that for you automatically. Good. Is this clear? Yeah. Okay. Fast. All right. Let's see your answers, guys. Muhammad's like read line. That's part of it. Open my file.txt.readline. That's an almost full answer. Timothy, however, has the perfect answer. Let me copy paste your code, Timothy. Here, and I'll explain it in a second. Okay, what are we doing here? So we got the file path after like joining it, and then we want to open it. Now in Python, you can use open. This is like a built-in function to open a file, and you just pass the path of the file, and that's it. And that's the syntax for it in Python. With open as f, so like this f is like any name you choose, like the name of the file, for example. I have chosen it to be f, for example, and then I'm returning f.readline, okay, which is actually the first line in the file. However, there's like a small caveat here. Let me show you. Let's make a new file here called you know what, let's call it, for example, file.txt. Okay, and here in Python I will go ahead and like write this code with open file.txt as f, and just like print f.read, what was it, read line, yeah. Filter, it does not exist. Interesting. Oh, okay. I see my mistake. 1 second. I'll close this, guys. I'll open Python here in a better way. Maybe that's clearer for you guys. Okay, so with open file.txt as f, I'll just print the f.readline. Let's try to run this. Hopefully no errors. Just loading. Okay, hello. Now, this here hello message has a hidden character, which is this one here again. Let me show it to you. Yep, this is what I wanted. Now, although my file here has hello, I have hello \n. All right. So this \n literally means like a new line. Since I have here a new line in my file, so if I had like something like this, it will actually like have more lines. Okay. So this, do I really need this new line, or do I just need the hello? Do I need this hidden character \n? I don't. So how do we fix it? We can use the strip, or was it strip? Or it was, yeah, strip. If I remember correctly, yep, strip. So we can use the strip function. If I hover over it, it's not working now. VS Code is not happy today. So if I use the .strip function here, it will remove any like extra hidden characters or white space characters. Okay. So the point is, here, instead of just like saying return f.readline, I'll return f.readline.strip to remove any extra characters. Okay, I'll give you a minute to do this task. Is the with line same as f equals? I'm not sure, Wallah, Ahmed. I have never tried it. That's a very uncommon way of doing it in Python. Let's, you can try it. Let me try it here. F equals, just, no, it's an invalid syntax, yeah, as I expected. You can't do that, or I think you mean this. Yeah, this works, but people usually do not recommend it because the with, I'll show it to you here. The with functionality in Python actually does a lot of things behind the scenes. So for example, if this file was corrupted or it didn't open correctly or whatever, and the file contains some like valuable information, let's say like for example your battery ran, your laptop ran out of battery and the system had to like shut down suddenly, not in the proper way, okay, or your laptop crashed. So you will actually lose all of these, all of the content inside the file. However, the with command, the with as functionality, will make sure that before closing the file, it will save everything and close the file properly and everything for you. So it will save you a lot of hassle, yani, if you want to do the checks yourself. Yep, as Tawfiq said, I'm reading Tawfiq's answer. Exactly, that's the point. If you open the file, you need to close it. Okay, so if you just like simply say something like f equals open file.txt, then like you're doing your readings here. Okay, you're writing to the file, you're reading from the file. At the end, you need to like close it. So other systems or other softwares or programs in your laptop can read the file. You don't want to like keep it open that no one else can like use it. You need to close it as soon as possible to even save the modifications. But like with the with functionality will close it for you automatically. Afif, you have a question, I believe.
Yeah, just a very small question. When it comes to read line, does it read the entire line or does it read until a null character like C++?
No, it reads, I think, till the end of the line. Because we don't have null characters here, like in a
For
file.
example, a space, because like in C++, a space is considered a null character, and if it reads a space, it just stops reading.
That's a good question. Like you mean this?
Yes. Will
No,
just read hello or all of it?
No, it will read the whole line.
The whole line. Okay.
Yeah.
Tamam.
What you actually mean is maybe dot read instead of read line.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's the case. The same thing with C++. There is reading normally, and there is read line or get line.
No, read even has a different functionalities here. Anyway, we don't want to go on a tangent
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Ahmed. You had the with and open. All right. So let's now, after doing that, let's test this functionality here. If we have no, if we had like no errors. So let's make a fake vault. So I'll come here and make I'll make a vault called Ahmed.vault, and my password is like potato. I have here Gmail, potato@123, Gmail, and that's my password. Pass me @123. All right. Now time to test our file, our functionality that we have been working on. Currently, we have just like written the authenticate vault, but we need to actually call it here down after parsing the arguments here. Let's go ahead and authenticate the vault. So the first argument that we need to pass is the vault name. So we can say here args dot vault name. Okay, so we'll get the vault name from the arguments which are passed through the CLI app. Secondly, we'll have args.master password. Let's see if I did any mistakes. Python 3 password. Okay, so currently the password is wrong, potato, but the actual password is potato@123. I should like see an error message or something, but like yet I didn't do this functionality. I'll do it in a minute. I'm currently trying to check the case when the password is right or correct. So potato@123. Vault is unlocked and it's in green because I'm using rich. Right? Up to now, everything is good. Now here, if get master password equals master password, and green I'll print vault unlocked, else I'll copy this and I'll make it in red, like in or wrong password. Let's try it again with the wrong password this time. Looks like potato@ 45145. So wrong password. Okay. So up to now, everything is working correctly. What else do we need to do? If the password is wrong, we even need to exit the program. So after printing wrong password, we don't want to like continue doing the parsing and checking the if statements, etc. We just need to exit the program. Okay, we can even like say here, wrong password, exiting. And that's it. Now, I'll come here back and say else. I'll uncomment this actually. Here. Now, this if corresponds to this else. So if the file exists to this and that, else vault, like in the case of vault not existing, I will first of all print. I want to make it in yellow, maybe. Something like creating a new vault. Okay, and I'll make a new function here, create a new vault that I'll make in a minute. And I'm gonna pass like two arguments, the vault that I wanna create, these two arguments, the name and the password of the vault. Okay, so let's make this functionality and I'll give it to you as a homework to work on. All right, I'm checking what else do we need. Am I missing something here? Nope, that's it. So today we have authenticated our vault. We are checking if it exists. If not, we're creating the new vault, which is your take-home task. If it actually exists, we are checking the password, whether it's being correct or wrong, and we just tested it. Everything is working correctly. I'll be uploading this on GitHub along with the sample solution that I have. Okay.
Ahmed,
Go ahead.
sorry to interrupt. Can you just show the Ahmed.vault for just 1 second? I want to check something.
Sure thing here.
Okay.
Done?
Yes.
There's an extra line here called like the master password here.
So the master password, then the thing. Okay.
All right. Okay, guys. Thank you so much for listening. Rahaf. So our task is to create a new vault when the vault does not exist, right? Yep. Exactly. So just like search on Google how to create a new file in Python. We have actually done something very similar with the with. Where is it? Yep. Here. With open as, etc., etc. You just need to modify this line a bit. Okay. Okay. Thanks, Raha, for your question. Anything else, guys? Any other questions? Again, I'll be sharing this code with you, inshallah.
Ahmed,
Yeah.
for some reason, I'm not getting it to work. Like, everything is working, it just keeps telling me wrong password.
Okay, I'll come and like join a private session with you now. Private meeting. I think Gmail allows it.
Okay. No problem.
Okay.